Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you prepare your share.
Another great way to use the celeriac is with potatoes. The celeriac adds a little something to the mashed potatoes. We like to use 2/3 to 1/3 ratio of potato to celeriac, but use what you have on hand, honestly.
Peeling your potatoes is optional. Some people like the peels. Personally, I like having the peels on them. But you do want to peel your celeriac. So we're going to go over how to peel this. This has already been scrubbed with a vegetable brush, so it's nice and clean. Going to go in and cut the top off and the bottom off. Now it's stable, not going to go anywhere.
Exactly.
I'm going to go in and peel the sides now, keeping my fingers back and just spinning it and going right around. Now save these peels, throw them in a freezer bag. They're great if you make stocks or soups, and then you can fish them out afterwards, keeping them large like this.
Perfect for that.
Adds a nice celery flavor to everything. Just gonna go in and just the very bottom doesn't come off.
Well done, Stacey.
Still keeping my fingers back.
She makes it look easy.
Push that aside. Now for the cubes. Going to cut them into slices or planks. Keeping my fingers behind. Now when I get to a piece that's this small, I'm going to go in on the side with it.
Nice, well
Just
done.
like that. So we're going to do 1-inch cubes. I keep the celeriac smaller than the potato. The potato will cook quicker.
Okay.
So the potato we have about 2-inch pieces, and these are about 1-inch pieces. So we're just going to quickly add this into it. The grouping.
Excellent.
Keeping your fingers back as you're going down and peeling. Now, if you're finding these to slip and slide a little bit much for you, you can cut a single slice easily.
That works.
It's fine. Go as any speed that you want to go.
Yes, but be careful.
Just be careful. We want all your fingers to still be intact. So there is
Beautiful.
the rest of the celeriac.
Okay.
All right. Next, we're gonna make, I usually make a pot full of this. If I'm gonna sit here and cut all this, I have a pot full. I can use them for different things throughout the week, or it can just be in a mug for a late night snack, because the two of these mashed together is just absolutely delicious.
It is delicious.
We have the pot.
Yes, we do. Okay, so we're gonna add the veggies to the pot. And once we get all these in, you just wanna choose a pot that is gonna give you a little bit of headroom at the top. That way we're not boiling anything over. So we're going to fill with cold water, and the reason you're using cold water with this, I just learned this actually, is so it doesn't start cooking the outside of your potato.
You want everything to come up to temperature together.
Right.
The potatoes and the water.
Yes. So we'll bring these up to a boil, probably about 20 to 30 minutes, and then check on their tenderness.
Here we go. So that's about the level.
Yeah, you've just covered everybody. That's good.
Okay.
Once tender, you want to go in with a mug, get a little bit of the starchy cooking water, which we've done here, then drain through a colander and get those back into your pot.
Now we're going to mix them. At this point, I treat them just like I would mashed potatoes. The celeriac has a delicate flavor, so I don't want to mask it. I'm really light-handed with any of the additional ingredients. I'm going to grab the pot because we started this.
Yes.
We don't want to make you guys wait. Okay. So this is still pretty hot.
So good.
So for this amount of potatoes, I'm adding 2 to 4 tablespoons of butter, some fresh ground black pepper, and a good pinch of salt. One of the additional ingredients that I do like adding to this is actually horseradish. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, that's
horseradish,
spicy, and you know, but it's not when you add it in just a little bit. I'm talking about like a teaspoonful or maybe 2 teaspoonfuls in this much starch. It's just going to elevate a little bit and give it a little bit of a kick, but it's not going to make it hot or spicy or anything like that. It's kind of like when you add mustard to something, you get that little back flavor, so it's not taking it all over.
Okay.
So let's season these up a little.
Butter, salt, pepper.
Salt, pepper. And I started mashing these. I'm gonna go in a little bit more potato masher. I'm gonna get this butter melted in.
Excellent.
Now this is pretty smooth. I think I'm gonna add a little bit. You could either add the starchy cooking water or we have some milk. I'm gonna add a little bit of milk. Also, the milk plus the butter will help the potatoes brown a little bit when you put it back in the oven for something else we have coming up. There we go.
All that incorporated.
And then I think we should taste it for the salt and pepper part of it.
Twist my arm.
Oh, look, see, this is so much smoother now that I just added that little bit of milk and kept going.
That made a big difference.
Let me tip this over so you guys can see it.
Yeah, that looks
So it just made it so much smoother. Now, there's nothing wrong with smashed potatoes if you want it chunky, but we're making this smooth for a reason. So taste.
Spoon.
Spoon. Careful, it's hot.
Oh, okay. I might go for a smaller amount then. But it did just come off the stovetop. That's really good.
Now see, you have that tang in the background just slightly, but it's not taking anything over.
No.
So I really like horseradish. Sometimes I put a little more in, but you know. We want the star ingredient to be the celeriac in this.
Yes, it is the star ingredient.
All right, so
this is actually so delicious by itself, but we came up with a little something that we thought you might enjoy. We're gonna top a shepherd's pie. So this is actually a recipe for a CSA shepherd's pie, which also means use up whatever you have as a stash from your CSA. So traditionally a shepherd's pie, for me anyway, has been a ground beef, a corn, and a potato. This is our version. So what we did in this pan, we cooked 3 onions diced up pretty small, 3 cloves of minced garlic, a tablespoon of olive oil, and we've actually gone with a ground turkey. So we ended up using 2 packages of a dark turkey meat and then 2 packages of a breast meat, so it's a little bit lighter.
Which really winds up being a double recipe.
Yeah.
So we made 2 full pans of this.
Yes.
So this is approximately half and half breast meat and dark meat.
Right. So we did add an extra tablespoon of olive oil. We just found that we did need it. Turkey does not have the extra fat that a ground beef would have. So just a little bit, and that did make a bit of a difference.
I'm just going in here and making sure all the pieces are broken up if there's any large pieces left. Which I think we've done a really good job. This is another use for your potato masher. It's not just for potatoes.
Not just for potatoes.
Once the turkey is cooked through, just like this, we're going to stir in a cup of diced pepper. Now this was frozen from my CSA stash. Like we said, it's great to use things up. Fold what you have into your turkey. We also have some Tuscan kale here that I had. Another great ingredient to add to this are the carrots.
No, that would be good.
Lots of carrots this year. Just cut them up small. What I would do is almost you could use a small food processor, or you could cut them up really finely, dice them. You could also steam them a little bit to par cook them, but if you cut them small enough, we're putting this in at 400 degrees. It should cook in without a problem and not be, you know, be tender all the way through.
But if you've hand cut and it's a little bit of a bigger cut, just give it a quick boil or give it a quick, you know, minute in the microwave. You're good to go.
And that should be fine. And
Easy
then we
enough.
also put the kale in here, which I think is a great, all those greens that we had, it's a great use up for that.
I love it. You obviously just saw we put some salt and pepper in there as well, so a few good grinds of each. Now, if you find that, say you did use a beef instead of the turkey and you found that you had a little bit of extra fat, you can sprinkle this with a little bit of flour, which is going to sort of thicken that up and tighten it up a little bit. You may find that that might create even a little bit of a gravy, which is kind of nice.
Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
The other thing that we'll do, depending on how many vegetables you add to this that are frozen, we literally pulled it out of the freezer, chopped and dropped and put it in. So you might get some extra water off of that too, so that might be the liquid that's there. So just the salt, pepper, and having that little bit of flour, and then put it back on the stove if you add the flour to it, and let it cook for like 5 minutes or so. What that's going to do is cook out the flour so it doesn't taste like flour when you go, and it actually kind of makes it start to form the gravy at that point.
That's nice.
So
That's real nice.
all right.
So we're going to scoop this into a casserole dish.
So what I'm going to do then, this is hot. Would you move that up there
I
for
would
me?
be happy to. Actually gonna go this way with it.
So our bottom layer is going to be the turkey and
It's
the
gonna be
vegetables.
the turkey and the vegetables.
So would you?
You betcha. So get this on the bottom layer. Now you can use any casserole dish you'd like. We thought we'd go with this clear so that you can see the layers.
And all the pretty colors, actually.
Yeah.
We're a little visual in this kitchen.
Now
We like
the
the food to look
last
pretty.
shepherd's pie that I made, I did add carrot. And what I actually did is I now, at this point, sprinkled a thin layer of the carrot here before the potato went on. Just an idea.
All right.
Make it your own.
Now this is now cool enough. Would you hold this for me?
Yes.
Because I'm going to spread it over the top.
We're gonna go that way. Oh, you know what? It's kind of
look
coming
at
out.
this. It's coming out on its own.
We couldn't have planned that better. Just that
All right.
little bit of extra milk
Perfect.
really did the trick.
All right. So then I'm just going to spread this out so it's a nice even
Beautiful.
layer and it's nice and pretty.
That does look great.
Look at how creamy the celeriac and the potatoes look.
It's beautiful. Now you can sprinkle anything you'd like on top of this as far as maybe a fresh herb, just very lightly, maybe a little Italian seasoning. I traditionally will do a paprika just because it's what my mother has done and my grandmother before that.
Going with a little pepper.
Yeah, just to add a little bit of something on top. We're going to then put foil over this and bake it in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes.
So here's this. I have
Beautiful.
foil. Now the foil is going to allow everything to cook together and it's going to keep the potatoes from getting brown. If at the very end you want to pull it out. At this point everything is cooked, so we're just
Anyway,
trying to get
right.
it all kind of together and getting happy and
Exactly.
everything. So this will go in. And then if you want that brown, just pull this out in the last like 5 minutes of cooking time.
And you'll get that little bit of
And you'll get
crusty
that brown.
on top, that beautiful brown.
So in we go.
Wonderful.
Now, want me to grab the done one?
I would love it.
So here's the done one.
Oh, that looks good.
Now, as you can see, the corners are a little brown. I did pull the foil off partway through. This one we sprinkled with a little bit of chopped fresh thyme.
Yes.
Because I just think the thyme and the potatoes and the celeriac, it just
All
goes
blends well together.
Really, really well.
Absolutely.
And I think what we're going to do is use this plate. I'm going to cut
You can use
some
this one.
out.
You want that one?
That one might be
That one might
easier.
actually work a little bit better.
Here we go. It's not too hot, I can grab
Nope,
it.
that looks good. Nice.
A little bit more of the,
The meat
Turkey.
and the veggies.
this is like this. I'm gonna slide it over.
Excellent.
Oh. Now,
This looks good.
favorite part,
This is my favorite part.
you need to taste.
Get a little bit of everything. Let's see how we did. That was great. I love what the greens did to the meat. It's
It
just
adds a
very
little
fresh.
bit more of a flavor.
The celeriac combined with that potato. It's delicious.
That's delicious. So this is a great make ahead too. So if you were to make this and put it in on a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon and then have it in the fridge, so easy. If you're one of those families that have different schedules and everybody's coming
Yes.
and going, this is all cooked. All the kids would have to do is come home, scoop it out, put it on a plate, warm it up in the microwave.
You're good to go.
Great for lunches. Have a little salad on the side. I think it's a perfect dish.
I think so
And
too.
you get to use up your CSA stash,
Always
which is
key.
even better.
Absolutely.
So we hope you give this a try.